Alright, so on the heels of X and Pearl, which I haven't seen yet, I went all the way back and I watched The House of the Devil, which was a movie also directed by Ty West, who did X and Pearl and The Sacrament and Cabin Fever 2, which is what I knew him from. This is very different than that. It's a throwback to the 70s, 80s horror films that are like slow burners and stuff like that. And you can tell from the opening and ending titles that that's what he was going for, and even some of the music. And the fact that it feels like it takes place in the late 70s, early 80s. There's no cell phones. Everyone calls from a regular phone or a pay phone. Music is very, definitive of that. And while it isn't HD, you do get some of the grain kind of feeling of it. And it all ultimately works for this film. But I ultimately feel like there's one big problem. It's too long, and this slow build ends up being... This movie is 1 hour and 35 minutes long. 1 hour and 35 minutes long. That is an hour and 35 minutes, 135 minutes long. I think it's 135 minutes long. It's long, okay? Now I feel like an idiot. Hold on a minute. They have one about the mannequins. Stop going to my list. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's see. Where is it? So I thought it was 135 minutes. It is 1 hour and 35 minutes, but it feels longer than that because the middle of this movie is so slow. It's so slow. It's a throwback to the old, the slow burn kind of films like Halloween, stuff like that. But the problem is, to me anyway, it feels so slow. Like the middle of this movie, nothing really happens. So let me sit down and tell you the plot crunch here. Jocelyn Donahue plays Samantha. She's this college student who is, she needs fast income. She's getting this new apartment. She's got to give Dee Wallace, the landlord, who has just a brief cameo in this, some money. And so she takes a job babysitting for Tom Noonan, who's in this movie. And it ends up being that who he has to babysit is his mother, quote, question mark. And she ends up, saying, hey, $400. Because she wasn't expecting it. So he says, I'll pay the $400. You just watch her for the night and then we'll be back. And then the film just sort of slowly crawls to an end. Is what it feels like. There's stuff in here that would work. And even the ending sets up something that I think could be a better premise than what we got in this film, to be honest. It's not done badly. It's fine for what we get. It's, but it's just not... It doesn't, I don't know, because you presented that there's some sort of threat here, but all she does is just sit in the house for 30 minutes, and it's like longer than that really, but because here's what happens. She goes in there, she meets with Tom Noonan, he tells her what's going on, and meet Tom Noonan's wife and say, hey, it's actually our mother that you're watching, and so you pay for $400. Megan, her friend, the brother, gets pissed because she said if it got weird, we would leave. But no, she's going to get paid $400, so she wants to stay, get that money. So Megan takes off. And then you see Megan's out there. She doesn't want to leave her. And this guy comes up and says, she goes to light a cigarette, which is obviously a fake prop cigarette because of the way she's smoking it and stuff. And she's like, hey, you want light? And scared me, so he gives her a light, and he's like, what are you doing here? She's like, wait, you aren't the babysitter, are you? She's like, No, my friend, and she gives her throat slit. So right there, we know there's a threat out there, this guy. But then nothing happens. Nothing happens. And then she makes a phone call to the pizza place that was given to her, the number was given to her. She calls for medium pepperoni pizza, and then she has to wait for a half hour. And the only reason why it takes long for stuff to happen is because the pizza is poisoned, and so they have to wait the 30 poisoned, but like drugged, so she'll pass out. And he has to wait exactly 30 minutes because he says, "Oh, I'll be there in 30 minutes." So to make it believable that this is a pizza person, you actually have to wait 30 minutes. And in that time, she's walking around the house, she's dancing to music on her little cassette player. She's just doing whatever. She breaks a thing. And meanwhile, she never ever has any kind of meeting with Mother till towards the end, which is really weird. So eventually the pizza gets there, and she tries eating it. It tastes terrible. There's like drug in it, but then they already, say at the beginning of the movie, oh, this pizza tastes terrible, so she's not gonna taste the difference. I knew there was something like, does that mean they're gonna drug pizza or something when they get it? I'm like, oh, they mentioned the pizza was bad already. She's not gonna notice that it tastes different. But she ends up not eating it, and I'm assuming she passes out. I know there's this thing where she goes to turn the light on, the light breaks, and then I think she passes out for the pizza, but drug pizza, and wakes up on this pentagram. And that's when the movie finally kicks in and you're like, hello! You get the score, you get all this stuff. Tom Noonan and his wife come back, and they're doing this ritual and the eclipse and stuff. And yeah, now the movie kicks in at about an hour and 10 minutes. You've, hour and 15 maybe. You set this up. And then she eventually breaks free. She kills the pizza delivery guy, whose name is Victor, who is also the guy that killed. He's one of this cult. He in the credits, Wikipedia has him down as Victor Ullman, so I guess he's their son or brother, son, something, I don't know. But he was the guy that killed the friend and the pizza delivery man, right? So she kills him, and then she kills the wife, I think, and Mother also dies. So it's under her and Tom Noonan that she finally gets out of the house, And she has this gun, and she's gonna shoot him, and he's like, all you have to wait. He's chosen you. And she shoots herself in the head. I'm like, oh, okay, that's it. But then, no, we're not done. This movie gives us an ending that is so confusing. She's in a hospital. She's unconscious, but she's still alive. She's got a bandage on her head. I'm like, how the hell did she survive a gunshot to the head? She's still alive. The nurse goes, don't worry, you're okay. And then pats her stomach and goes, you're both okay. So she's been impregnated by this demon cult, right? Most likely the devil spawn, right? So wouldn't it be better if, instead of this slow burn of a movie, as soon as she gets there, she's knocked unconscious. She's taken in. She's a little weird. As soon as she gets there, they're like, hey, get there. Let's say they get there, they say, it's weird, no, you're just going to babysit for a while. They don't do that, oh, hey, if it's weird. Megan just drops her off, says, I'll see you later. So I can call taxi home, whatever. She gets there, she knocks out, Megan drives away, knocks on her door. She's taken in, drugged, and then wakes up in her dorm room the next day, not knowing how she got there. They ask her how the babysitting job goes. I don't remember. I remember getting dropped off. Megan dropped me off. I don't remember what happened. It's very blurry. And she finds out she's pregnant, but the thing is, she doesn't remember having sex. But it's been now a few weeks since that happened, and so she starts to think, did the guy rape me and I'm having his child? What's going on? And it build this, oh no, what's gonna happen, and then you see people watching her throughout the film. You see the guy, you see her go to the house and it's empty. She finds dead people in the house that wasn't the person that she was talking to. Which they do, there are dead bodies, she never finds the bodies, but there's something else going on here. It's not the house, it's not those person's houses, that kind of thing. But as it is, it's a throwback to the slow burn movies that just, I don't mind slow burn movies. I love Halloween, which I'm gonna revisit that at the end of the month here, but I feel like, and I know Ty West did it on purpose, throw back to those slow burn kind of films, but this feels too much of a slow burn. Nothing happens in the middle of this movie. As soon as she gets to the house, the movie stops. It's just, she's sitting there and she's watching TV. For like 5 seconds, she turns it on. She's watching the news thing. She turns it back off. She puts the music on. She starts to dance. Whatever. Breaks the thing. Dancing, and it picks up a little bit. But she's like walking around and looking at stuff. She gets the pizza. She starts watching TV again for 5 seconds. So she turns it off. Throws away the pizza. Yeah. It's just gagging in the middle to make up time. And it's like, clearly Ty West had setup and the payoff. He just needed stuff in the middle because he said, oh, we have to have this guy say 30 minutes. So we have to have a 30-minute time period where she's not really doing anything, so we can build it up as, oh, she really is waiting for that pizza. Problem is, this is a movie. So all you have to do is just cut for time. So, okay, 30 minutes, I have to do a few things. And then like time lapse, where it's been 30 minutes. Excuse me, by the way. And the pizza guy gets there. We don't need to sit there for the actual 30 minutes waiting for the pizza guy to come. It's a little bit slow. I've heard a lot of praise for it. It's not a bad movie. I actually like this. It's done very well. It's going to get in the middle of the road because I don't know. I don't foresee me rewatching this anytime soon. It's not a bad movie. It's not non-Ty West. He did a great job with X. He did a great job with... That's the only movie I've seen of his. X. He did a great job with X. And this was good too, but just... I don't know. Not for me. I guess it just... I don't know. It sitting there watching through the middle of it, it's like... When is something going to happen? And then when the pizza guy showed up, I'm like... Has it been exactly 30 minutes since they said... Really? You made us actually wait 30 minutes so that your runtime was spread out more. And it was something if something happened in those 30 minutes. But it doesn't. It's just her lollygagging around and doing God knows what, breaking stuff, whatever. I hate to repeat myself. I feel like I'm on repeat, but yeah. So it's the middle of the road. Very simple. So, what are your thoughts on the House of the Devil? Leave a comment below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.